This is a presentation on why cybersecurity is important. There are three types of security threats. Type 1 comes from unstructured, which are targeted opportunities, phishing, smishing, and vishing. An example of this unstructured attack occurred to our organization a few years ago. One of our users received an email from someone that they knew that contained a PDF attachment. When the user double-clicked on the PDF file, it ran a malicious script in the background that made a copy of the same email message to everyone that they knew in their contacts. From there, anyone that clicks on that attachment will duplicate the same messages to their contacts, and the goal of this is to bring down the email server. Another example occurred in a city within California. An admin staff received an email from a director who happened to be out of town requesting 5 gift cards be purchased in $25 amount sent to an address. The employee did as they were told and mailed it out without further verification. Later, it was found out that the director's email was a fake. The second type of attack is structured. It is with the specific targets in mind. It can be organized and also occurs from within an organization. Another example from a city within California is where a finance manager received an email from the city manager. The city is working on a CIP project, and the city manager is requesting that the funds for the project is transferred to a list of specified accounts. The accounts were linked to an offshore account. Luckily, the request was stopped and they discovered that the email account was jeopardized. The hacker read up on the city's website's news information and was able to identify who the personnel to specifically target. All of our user accounts are susceptible to being hacked and phished for information. Even though users may deem that all their information is public, please do not provide your passwords to anyone. IT will no longer ask you for your password, and please do not give it out. Here's an example of a phishing email of a vendor who we do business with. The email signature contains their name and business. The goal is for us to click on the link. If you look closely, the email address is not coming from a business address. It's listed as an AOL account. Usually, that's a first sign of a fake email. Other clues are different size fonts, bad grammar, a sense of urgency, and requesting for sensitive information. If you're interested in learning more, please let us know. The third type of threat is highly structured. It has a larger scale effect and usually goal-oriented. This involves cyber terrorism and state-level attacks. Here's a short video which talks about it. Even though it's on the state level, the concept of how they did it still applies to a basic attack.
Imagine you get an email from Netflix saying your account is suspended. It looks official, it even uses your name. But this email is not real. It's a personalized, targeted hacking attempt called spear phishing, and it's getting harder and harder to tell a real email from a dangerous one. Cybercriminals aren't just targeting random individuals for credit card info. CEOs in big companies like Sony, Facebook, and Google have all been duped. And, of course,
the Russian government hackers penetrated the computer network of the Democratic National Committee.
WikiLeaks just recently published a bunch of these emails.
And all it took was one phishing email. It was a pretty standard spear phishing attack. An employee at the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, known as the DCCC, got an email that looked like a Google security alert, asking her to log in and change her password. It looked legitimate, and that was the point. It was actually sent by Russian hackers. They installed malware that took screenshots of what she was doing, and they tracked every key she typed. When she logged into the DCCC's network, the Russians could too. From there, they had access to all sorts of documents, opposition research, field operation plans, bank accounts. They even installed malware into at least 9 other computers. One of those computers belonged to an employee who also had access to the Democratic National Committee. Using the same methods as before, the Russians were able to log into the DNC network. Once inside, they stole thousands of emails later released during the convention.
Debbie Wasserman Schultz has announced she will resign as head of the Democratic National Committee.
It comes after those leaked DNC emails.
All because of that one phishing email. The Russians also sent phishing emails to 76 people within the Clinton campaign, including campaign chairman John Podesta. This was the actual email he received, a Google security notice telling him to click the link to change his password. His chief of staff thought the email seemed fishy, so she sent it to the campaign's IT staff. An IT staffer agreed it was suspect and instructed Podesta to change his password immediately. But in his haste, he wrote legitimate when he meant to say illegitimate. The rest is history.
The ongoing dump of hacked emails from the account of Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta.
Every day, a new batch, and the Clinton campaign knows this could be a problem for them every day until Election Day.
So how do you prevent this from happening to you? Well, first, take Clinton's IT guy's advice. Set up two-factor authentication on everything you can. But that's not even a guaranteed safeguard. If you get an unexpected email, examine the URL closely. And just in case, don't click the link in the email. Go directly to the website instead. But you're actually more likely to see that phishing link on your phone, not just in an email, but in a text or messaging app too. 56% of people click on mobile phishing links. Ultimately, if you think something looks fishy, don't take the bait.
A common thought is that this is something that doesn't apply to me. Well, if you ever use public Wi-Fi, carry a smartphone, purchase a TV within the last 10 years, have appliances or digital devices that connect to the internet, it applies to you. The tech world is changing fast and cybersecurity is a hot topic. There are vulnerabilities to all devices that they even coined the term Internet of Things to categorize it. Here's a video to showcase how tool and equipment that are easily acquired through the web can be used to acquire your information. We're here to simulate what a hacking looks like in real time. The scenario is that we're at a local coffee shop. Eric is the patron and Ramez is the hacker. Let's see how this plays out.
So let's connect to the local Wi-Fi and get some work done. Wow, there's so many free Wi-Fis. There's free Wi-Fi. That looks suspicious. I don't want to connect to that. Hacker Wi-Fi. Definitely don't want to connect to that one. There's also McDonald's, Target. But since we're at Starbucks, let's connect to Starbucks Wi-Fi. So I'm going to select Starbucks and click on Connect. Connecting to Starbucks. Connected, so I'm going to open up the web browser and take a look at today's news. So I'm going to go to msn.com. Oops. Wow, Starbucks looks delicious. Better grab a cup of coffee later. I have to accept the terms and agreement to access their Wi-Fi. So I'm going to click on I agree. Whoops, looks like I typed in msn.com incorrectly, so I'm going to fix that up. msn.com, I'm going to take a look at today's news. Oops, looks like I forgot to log into my Windows, so I'm going to type in my username, William Shatner, then I'm going to type in my password. I'm going to select OK. So now I'm done web browsing. I'm going to get some work done. So I'm going to open up my Word document and type in hello. I am going to check my email next. So I'm going to open up the Outlook web app. Type in my username, Buzz. My password, and I'm going to log in. Take a look at my emails. Looks like I got a reminder. I need to check my monthly bill payment at Wells Fargo.
We're now going to jump over and see what our hacker friend is up to.
This is interesting. It looks like Eric right now is checking out his work email. Oh, now he's going somewhere else. It looks like he's about to enter into his Wells Fargo bank account. This should be exciting.
Eric has just put in his username and password. Luckily, his password looks encrypted and not seen by the hacker. Looks secure, right?
Wrong. Actually, when Eric joined the Starbucks Wi-Fi, when he had to press on the agreement button, it actually ended up running a malicious script in the background, which downloaded a remote monitoring tool as well as a keylogger. So I can pretty much see a lot of things that Eric has done. Let me show you. I can see, for instance, that Eric was on the Firefox browser at 4:32 p.m. and he went to msn.com. I can even see that he actually misspelled that. And then later on, I can see that he went to a Microsoft Word document a minute later, and I can see exactly what he typed. Hello, I am going to check my email next. And it looks like he went back to his web browser and went to his work email. And I can see his username here as well as his password. And then it looks like he went to his Wells Fargo account, and again I can see his username and password. The reason why I can see all this is because of the keylogger that was secretly installed in the background. I could pretty much see everything he typed in whatever program or web browser he's using. Oh, and one last thing. So remember that pop-up that Eric got while he was on msn.com? But pretty much I was spoofing him into getting his Windows credentials, so I got his username and password. I'm going to early retirement now.
We want to let everyone know that our work system is fully secured, but it can be vulnerable based upon user action. We went to the extreme to showcase the effectiveness of a hack. We're using free tools easily found on the web, but they are very buggy. Some of the security warnings were disabled. However, there are more sophisticated tools on the dark web that are more powerful and can easily bypass security system undetected. Here are some prevention tips we have for you when using public Wi-Fi. Find out the official name of the Wi-Fi before you connect. If you don't know, ask an employee. Make sure you have antivirus turned on and up to date. Make sure Windows are up to date. Make sure your web browsers are updated. Browse secure websites using HTTPS. Save sensitive websites for browsing, such as your bank account, for when you get home. If you must, use LTE instead. Use a VPN software if you have it. When using mobile devices, turn off file sharing and AirDrop options. Lastly, what are the commonality of a phishing attack? Emails are from people you may know. User double-clicks on a link or messages. The request or demand is usually urgent or has a time limit on it, which usually ends with asking for money or information. Thank you for your time today and hope that the presentation provides you with some general knowledge.